is the most common kind of problems you encounter if you're working with people one-on-one? Obviously, something's kind of gotten bad where they're,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. Well, I'm unhappy and I don't know why is like the starting point, right?
right,
This isn't working. I'm fighting with my partner all the time. I don't feel connected to him or her. I tend to work with women mostly, but I do have men that come to me occasionally. Um, so I'll probably say she as my client when I'm talking.
okay.
Um, but a lot of this will apply both ways, but they're fighting and they don't understand why, and they've tried to fix it and it's like it's not working and they don't get why it's not working. And
Is
that's the starting point.
is there like a this is kind of like how long is a piece of string question, but is there like a common or a typical time into the relationship that they come to you, like 3-year mark or something like that?
You know, I don't know what the research says about this, but I kind of feel like there's 5 to 7 years.
Right.
And then there might be a 10-ish year, but then it's again at 15, 16 years. I kind of feel like people are saying, wait a second here, I'm no longer being connected. And especially if they've had kids and life has been about working and raising the kids. And now the kids are starting to be on their own, even if they haven't left the house. And that can really highlight the fact that you aren't feeling as connected to your partner anymore.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
when the people come to you to start working on their relationship, are they kind of in the mindset of like, I'm going to leave and I want your support in that? Or are they like, I want to stay. How do I work
I
through this?
I I think mostly they wanna stay. Sometimes they get to the point where I just can't do this anymore and I think I have to leave. But mostly, and I'm always a little surprised actually at how hard people will work at relationships. And that really gives me hope for any relationship that's struggling, if that neither partner really wants to leave. And so what can we do to make this better? And
Mm,
it can be a bit of a slog.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is interesting. You said you typically work with one person in the relationship. So how do you kind of foster healing or like mending of a relationship or growth with only one person?
Yeah, it can be tricky, and a lot of times my goal is to get the couple into couples therapy,
Right.
because once they get into couples therapy, they can really start addressing the issues. Working one-on-one with somebody, it's really having to focus on them and their issues, which is hard because when we're coming because we're unhappy with our relationship, we're focused on our partner and how he or she isn't showing up in the relationship. And so it's all about them, right?
Interesting.
And it's hard to get the focus back on ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Which is
Yeah.
really the only place where change can take
Yeah.
place with us,
Exactly.
with
Exactly.
ourselves. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's interesting. So you're saying that typically people will come to you in kind of a blaming manner,
Yeah.
right?
Well, you know what, it is blaming, but I don't think they're doing it with the "it's not my fault, it's all your fault, I'm blaming you for the problem" kind of. I think what they're noticing, because what our brains are structured to detect threat. And so if there's a problem or something threatening out there, like, oh, I'm not feeling connected to my partner, that can feel very threatening. We're going to focus on that. And the only thing we can see is what our partner's doing. Like physically, you cannot see yourself unless you're looking in the mirror. So all you're focused on is your partner. And that's what people are focused on. So I don't think they come into this intentionally blaming, but that is essentially what's happening.
Right. Or maybe
Yeah.
even just venting, maybe blaming's the wrong word.
Yeah.
Venting
Well,
about the
yeah. Yeah.
situation
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and which can sound a lot like blaming.
Well, it can, but it's like repeat griping about what the partner isn't doing or what they did that was upsetting. Um,
hmm
yeah.
So how do you facilitate your patients?
I call them
Um,
clients mostly.
Client. I was going to say
Yeah.
client, and then I was
Yeah.
like, wait, is
Yeah.
it a patient?
Yeah.
To take responsibility for their own behavior. Like, what are some prompts we could perhaps take from that to, look in the mirror at ourselves?
Look in the mirror. Yeah. So think about control and what you have control over versus what you have influence over
Right.
versus all the things that neither you have neither influence nor control. And what you'll find is the only thing you can control is your behavior, and you can challenge your own thoughts. So whenever you're in this dynamic and it's not working for you, the question to start asking is, well, what can I do? What,
Right.
where's my responsibility in this? And what can I change about the interaction, and stop trying to exert control over your partner.
Mhm.
A
Mhm.
lot of us, when we feel that disconnection, makes us feel threatened. We try to exert control in an effort to reduce our anxiety. Because if you would just do it my way, everything would be fine.
Right. I'd be okay. If you just would have answered in this
Yeah.
manner, I'd be okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
and if you don't do it that way, you must not love me,
Right. Yes, we're
because
very
I've
quick to
told you.
jump to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are. It's one of the I devoted a whole chapter this in my book on assume the best from your partner,
Mm.
because we are very quick to assume that, if they really love me, they wouldn't be doing this. Therefore, they must not love me, or they must be doing this on purpose.